class we are going to learn how to make basic patterns for boys for the top part. Different with these basic patterns we are going to make today, you will be able to make any kind of top you want, including the shirt. Now let's see how to make it. We are going to use the chart number 2 for boys, which is the back pattern chart. Start with a 90 degrees angle, and in the top horizontal mark the number 1, and in the vertical mark the number 2. Close those 2 points, making a rectangle. And then we are going to take the bisector line of this corner. And in that line I will mark the number 3, which is neck bisector guide in our chart number 2. So this is the 1 neck on horizontal, 2 neck on vertical, and this is 3 bisector guide. Now from the top corner in the vertical mark the number 4 on the chart, which is the armhole length, and the square line horizontal from there. Then mark the number 5 in the same line. The number 5 is the back length. So I will square an horizontal line, but this time I will make a dashed line because this is only for reference for future transformations of the pattern. Now mark the number 6 in the same line and square an horizontal line also. This will be the normal top length. And then mark the number 7 in the vertical also and square a line. This is the shirt length. And here in the top vertical mark the number 8, which is the half back width, and in that point square a vertical line touching the armhole line. Now from this corner in the line extension mark the armhole extension, which is the number 9 in the chart, and here from the number 8 mark the shoulder slope, which is the number 10, and join with the number 1 to trace the shoulder line. Take the bisector line of this corner, trace it, then this segment mark the half point and there square a small line and mark the number 11, which is the armhole horizontal guide. This is 11. Now the number 12, mark it from the corner upwards in the vertical, 12. And in the bisector line, from the corner, mark the armhole bisector guide, which is the number 13. Trace the armhole curve, join first the point 9, 13 and 12, and then the 12, 11 and 10. From this point square a vertical line reaching the bottom line. Now take the half of this segment, mark it, square a horizontal line there, and mark 5 millimeters. And we are going to mark 5 millimeters also here in the bottom corner. Mark it inside. And join those 3 points with the Taylor curve or with the straight lines and smooth it with the French curve if you don't have this one. Trace the neckline curve and your back pattern is ready. For the front pattern, trace a 90 degrees angle in the opposite side of the paper, and in the horizontal from the corner mark the number 1 on your chart, is the chart number 3. Then take a bisector line of the corner and in that bisector line mark the number 2, neck bisector guide, and in the vertical mark the number 3, neck on vertical. Join the 3 points with the French curve. Now from the corner in the vertical mark the number 4, which is the armhole length. Remember we are using the chart number 3. Also in the vertical from the corner mark the front length, which is the number 5 in the chart. And also in that line mark the t-shirt length number 6 and the shirt length, which is the number 7 in the chart, mark it also here in the vertical. Here in the top horizontal mark the number 8, half front width. And now square a line in the armhole, back, shirt length and t-shirt length points, and square a vertical from the number 8, half from width. Here from this corner mark the armhole extension, which is the number 9, and here mark the shoulder slope. This is the number 10, and trace the shoulder line like this. Now here from the corner upwards in the vertical mark the number 11, which is armhole vertical guide, and take the bisector line of the armhole corner. There mark the number 12 in the chart, and then the number 13 mark it here extending the shoulder line. And now this is your new shoulder length. You only have to check that it has the same measurement than the back. If it's not equal, then make the necessary adjustments. Trace the armhole curve, join the points as I'm showing you. Now square a vertical line here from the armhole corner, reaching the bottom part, and this segment mark the half point and square a line inside. In that line mark 5 millimeters, and also here in this corner, the same as we did in the back pattern, and trace this curve. For the sleeve, we are going to use the chart number 4 and start with a 90 degrees angle in the right side of the paper. In the vertical mark the sleeve length is the number 1, and in the horizontal mark the number 2, which is half sleeve width. And here in the vertical from the top corner mark also the sleeve cap length, which is the number 3. And now square lines from the number 2 and from the number 1 to make a rectangle. Also from the number 3. And this segment divided by 3 and mark the parts like this. And from those points square lines reaching the top line. Now from the corner in the vertical you have to mark the number 8, which is short sleeve length. And here in these lines I'm going to mark the number 5 and 6 of my chart from top to down. This is the number 5 and this is the number 6. Take the bisector of this line and there in that bisector line mark the number 7 of the chart. Now trace the curve segment by segment using the French curve in this position first, and then change the position to trace this part of the curve. Now here we are going to mark the half sleeve base, which is the number 4, and join with the number 3 in this way. Now take the measurement of that line and mark the half point and square a small line there and mark the number 10 in that small line, which is the horizontal guide for the curve. Join these 3 points with the Taylor curve or with the straight lines and then smooth it with the French curve if you don't have this curve. Now we are going to cut the curve of the sleeve until here, then the side, and cut also the base, then fold by the central line and use it as a pattern to transfer the shape of the sleeve on the other side. Now only extend the lines and also transfer the lines of the top curve like this. In those lines we are going to mark 2 centimeters inside, and this is the left side of your sleeve. Trace the curve for the back part, which is on the left, in this way, and cut it. There you have it, the back part and the front part. And your sleeve is ready. Now cut your patterns, the back part, following the lines I am showing you for cutting. Here you have to cut by the inner curve we trace and the armhole. And the front pattern in the same way. The side you have to cut it by the inner curve we trace, and other than that is the same, all the contour of our pattern. Then you only need to write the information of the patterns, back, front and the size, and your patterns are ready.